What if I told you that if you invest $1, you could get $100 back in return? Believe me, I'm not making this up. According to the Forrester report titled the UX ROI for B2B tech vendors, the ROI is over 9,900%. Even at IBM, the design thinking practice alone brings in a 301% in ROI, faster time to market by a factor of 2, and a reduction in design time by 75%. The secret sauce behind it all? UX. So, I'm Shashank Dogra, a senior product designer here at Neudesic, and I'm here to talk about sauce. I mean, UX. From a ketchup bottle, a simple web app, or a complex software, everything is a product. And this delicate art of balancing look and feel with human psychology and business goals is called product design, sometimes also referred to as user experience design. It's all about how someone feels when interacting with a product or service. It is not just about the looks, but also how it works. And finally, it's also about making sure that the product or service is accomplishing a business goal for the organization. After all, they want you to keep using that product. Right? Let's take an example. HubSpot, on their recent redesign, put the users in charge. They saw up to 2x conversions, and in some cases up to 3x. And for a website receiving 10 million visitors a month, you can just imagine the impact on the revenue. And if that doesn't make sense, this box certainly will. Just how easy it is to order anything on Amazon. I mean, there's a reason they call it $1 trillion button. You see, we humans, we read in an F-shaped pattern. That product page is laid out exactly that way. And we humans, we need a little convincing every now and then. So every time you see that checkout button, you'll also see important information such as price, stock, and shipping and delivery speed. The hyper-optimized product page is nothing but a masterpiece of human behavior meeting a business goal. So why would a business invest in good product design and UX strategy? Well, if you weren't convinced already, let's talk some numbers and examples. Starting with this McKinsey study, which shows that design-driven company outperformed the S&P by 219%. Famously, Instagram, when it launched in 2010, the founders, they started noticing the user behavior and they found that people only commented, liked, or shared their post. So what did they do? They re-released the app with a trimmed down feature set, and that resulted in 2 million users within 3 months without any marketing effort in place. It's a clear indicative of how user behavior can drive a much more risk-averse product strategy. In 2025, UX design or product design should not be an option. It should not be an afterthought, but should be a very integral part of an overall strategy of an organization. Okay. You're probably thinking, this is all cool, but that 9,900%, it's not making sense. I got you. I've got some numbers and examples. Let's go over them. At number 1, perhaps one of the best outcomes of a good product design strategy is reduce cost and time in development. Just think about it. If I invest $1 and it takes me $5 to fix it at design stage versus $30 after the launch of the product, my decisions are a lot simpler. An example, American Airlines, when redesigning their website, fixed most of their usability problems during the design stage, and they saw reduced cost of fixes by 60 to 90%. At number 2, we have reduced time in training. And I'm just gonna roll with an example here. The Electric Power Board of Chattanooga, Tennessee saw a reduction in training time by 70% after having their backend software redesigned with usability in mind. At number 3, support calls are lower. McAfee, the famous antivirus company, saw a reduction in support calls by 90% after resolving usability issues to their protection pilot software. Also, at Neudesic, with projects like Amy Web with AMN, we saw reduced speed to submit candidates by 83%, reduction in manual intervention by 51%, and the time to first call reduced by 52%. The outcomes by prioritizing UX, they just keep getting better. At number 4, you have lesser data entry error, which equates to reduced average repair time. Hear me out. Let's just say you fix 6 errors per week, and they all take about 30 minutes, and you have 25 people working on it, which on average cost you $30 an hour. That's $5,625 a week, or $300,000 a year. Now imagine you had none of that. At number 5, you also see improved productivity. And while that happens, you also see number 6, which is reduction in staff requirement. And perhaps one of my favorite outcomes, you see an increase in brand loyalty. And at number 8, while all these incentives stack up, it allows you to charge a premium over your competitor. Forrester reports that the willingness to pay a premium increases by 14.4%, all due to a positive experience. And the likeliness to switch brands reduces by 15.8%. And all of a sudden, sudden, that 9900% starts making sense. So what happens when at Neudesic you engage the design team? Everything I just talked about. We make this happen by conducting extensive user research, asking the right questions to derive the correct problems to solve. You might even know that as the 4D process. We extensively ideate and we bring in a multitude of ideas. And for each hypothesis, we test for feasibility as well as usability by building prototypes, conducting interviews, and much more. We then design an engaging user interface and a product experience that just ties it all together and makes the rollout smooth. And by smooth, I mean better ideation through your features and epics, better development sprints and QA, lesser time spent in alpha and beta releases, especially due to experience-related issues, and all of that amounting to a much more collaborative team effort where the team focuses on the big problems and not the mundane issues. Imagine combining this with the entire Neudesic consultative experience, and you have a full suite of team working together to solve from product to process to tech stack to management. We don't just come in as consultants, we practice what we preach, and we join you as partners. In 2025, we have this huge shift in the industry with the AI actually starting to solve problems. And what we definitely see is that products are delivering a good user experience. And the lack of that just puts a product at a very dire competitive disadvantage. Great product design can have such an immense impact on your user, and you get to decide if it's a positive one or not. And if not the ROI or any of these incentives that I mentioned today, the value of good product design and UX is certainly not wasting time and money on developing the wrong solution. UX design, great product design can be that very key differentiator that sets you apart from the competition. It sets a tone of success and acceptance from the very inception to execution. And to some, that's 9900%.